Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. So about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, man, I want to touch on these comments from Dwayne Wade that he made regarding the fans. And there's a disconnect between the fans and the players of the NBA. This is what Dwayne Wade was saying. I wrote down his comments that he made in relation to the fans and how, we don't know, about NBA basketball. We don't know what it takes to be an NBA basketball player. We couldn't play in the league and blah, 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 blah. Dwayne Wade, you sound ridiculous. Sound stupid as he usually does when you hear a lot of these guys speak. I'm telling you, he speaks to a greater issue here with these players, these ex-NBA players. These guys are just not that smart, man. And once again, they don't understand. They just don't understand. And I'm going to break it down and try to explain it for Dwayne Wade because he doesn't seem to understand, what the fans are, complaining about, I guess. I don't even know what he's trying to say here. And we're going to talk about this video, guys. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, you know I am truly, truly humbled, man. Shout out to everybody in the membership, man. Like I said, it means a lot for you guys to email me, send me messages. You guys come through the lives, support us, man. The donations, everything, guys. It means a lot. So thank you very much. Real recognize real, man. So shout out to everybody out there in England and France and Spain and Japan and New Zealand and Australia and Italy and, like I said, Belgium and just Mexico and all you guys I see out there, man. Bulgaria, shout out to Bulgaria. I saw you guys on there. Shout out to everybody in South Africa, everybody in Sierra Leone. Shout out to everybody in, all these countries. Like I said, just continue to support me, man. It means a lot. Shout out to everybody across the states, man. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I want to touch briefly on these comments from Dwayne Wade, man. Now, I know this from a couple of days ago, so I'm a little bit late. It's just not breaking news or anything like that. And I've seen a couple of people, content creators, make videos on this. I think I saw my man on Common Sense touch on this. And I wanted to... Now, sometimes I see people have made comments or I see people have done videos on something, but I don't understand or know exactly what was said. And I was flipping around on social media yesterday. I was on Instagram, I believe this was, and I saw this clip of Dwayne Wade, and I actually heard, the comments, what he actually said. And it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what he's saying here. And I know a lot of people were saying that he was coming after the fans, and basically telling the fans that, we need to shut up because we never played in the NBA. Essentially, that's what people were saying that he was talking about. And I listened to the clip of him talking. And like I said, I don't know if he's on a podcast, he's been interviewed. And the person that's on the podcast there with him or on the stream with him, I mean, he's over here goofing, laughing. Like, Dwayne Wade is saying stupid stuff that doesn't even make any sense. And this guy's over here laughing about it as if Dwayne Wade is saying something funny. Or, like I said, he's really, giving you something like you didn't even, hear, like something profound. I don't know what Dwayne Wade was saying here. So let's go through these comments now as far as Dwayne Wade and him saying that there's a disconnect. Because that's what he said. There's a disconnect between the fans and the players. Now, let's go through this here. He says this. There's a disconnect between fans and hoopers. This is what he's saying. Fans and hoopers. They're hoopers, we're fans. And he's saying because y'all fans, y'all actually think y'all know what it's like because y'all think y'all hoop. I don't know how many times you're going to say y'all in one sentence, but this doesn't even make any sense. So let's think about this now. He's saying there's a disconnect between the fans and the players because, according to him, we think that we hoop. We think that we can ball. And we're not ballers. They're ballers. They're hoopers because they play in the NBA. I've been saying this, guys, since day one. I've never once said on my channel, never once have I ever made a claim on my channel or talked on my channel as if I can play in the NBA, as if I was good enough for the NBA, that I can beat any of these guys one-on-one, that I'm better at basketball than any of these NBA players or ex-NBA players, any of these guys. I've never once said anything like this. Are there fans out there that talk reckless? Absolutely. Are there players out there that talk reckless? Absolutely. Are there fans out there that talk as if they can play in the NBA? That talk as if they can beat some of these players one-on-one? Absolutely, there are people out there talking crazy and saying crazy things. We've always said this. There are fans that go to NBA games and say crazy stuff. But you can't lump all of the fans in with people who do stuff like that. So you have NBA players getting all sensitive, people like Kevin Durant coming after fans on Twitter and stuff like that, because you're trying to lump all the fans in a group of people that are a minority. It's a minority people who do this crazy stuff, say crazy things at these games. People who try to spit on people or throw stuff at people. This is a small minority of people, of fans at these games that do stuff like that, that act like that. Because once again, these aren't adults. These are not grown-ups. These are weird fools out here that do stupid stuff out there because they're looking for attention, right? They want to go viral or something, right? Or they're emotional. They can't control themselves in a public forum. So they act crazy. They say crazy things. And I've always said, you are responsible for your actions when you're in public. No matter what you do, there's no excuses. No one's going to make an excuse for you. You're responsible for the consequences of your actions. So I've always said this from the start. So Dwayne Wade talking about there's a disconnect because y'all fans think y'all know what it's like because y'all think y'all hoop. No, we don't think we hoop. If I go outside right now and I go play basketball, I go to a playground, a park, whatever it is, and I go to the court and there's people out there and I go play full court basketball, 5-on-5. That's hooping. That's playing basketball, is it not? Now, obviously, there are different levels to this. No one's denying that going outside and playing in the streets with the common folks is a lot different of a level than going and playing in the NBA, right? Or playing pickup basketball with NBA level talent. There's levels to this, but it's still basketball, Dwayne Wade. If I go out there in the court and play 5-on-5, it's still basketball. And I can argue that playing basketball in the streets today is actually a purer form, is actually real basketball than what you guys are doing in the NBA over the last 5 years or so. It's been an absolute joke, Dwayne Wade, has it not? But you're not holding the standard. You're not over here talking about how the standard's been lowered and these guys are traveling and carry the ball all over the court. You want to talk about how great you guys are compared to the common folks and how we don't know what it's like because we never play in the NBA. We ain't really hooping. We're not really hoopers. If I go play basketball right now, I sprain my ankle. That's a real sprained ankle, isn't it? It's not a fake sprained ankle. I go out there right now on the court, I tear my knee. It's not a fake injury. It's a real injury I had to deal with. Like I said, we have to deal with the real world, the reality of not being millionaires and have everything given to us. We have to go out there and now have to worry about, am I going to miss work? How am I going to pay for this procedure now? Do I have the proper insurance? These are the things that common folks think about. And we're out there playing sports. Dwayne Wade ain't got to worry about this stuff. These professional athletes, they ain't got to worry about none of this stuff. So he's talking about because y'all think y'all hoop. No, there are a lot of people out here in the real world that have NBA level talent, that have NBA level genetics. You know, maybe they're tall, they have the athleticism, but something happened in their life and they didn't see it through. Maybe there was a tragic circumstance. Maybe their family member died, a mother or father, their parents died tragically and they had to take over a family business or something. There's a lot of stories like that out there, man. Once again, there are a lot of guys that have the skills to play in an NBA or the skills to compete with some of these NBA guys, but they weren't blessed with the height. They're 5'9", they're 5'7", they're 5'11", they're not 6'9", they're not 6'11". Dwayne Wade is 6'4", guys. Now, that may not sound tall compared to NBA players, but the average height of a grown man is like 5'8", 5'9", guys, in the world. That's the average height of a person. Like I said to you guys all the time, when's the last time you saw a 6'7" guy, 6'8", a 7-foot tall guy walking around? You don't see those guys like that. So by that metric, Dwayne Wade is about 6, 7, 8 inches taller than the average person in the world. That's a huge advantage when you're playing basketball and you're 6'4" and I'm 5'9", let's say. Huge advantage over for Dwayne Wade, isn't it? So once again, it's not just about your skills and how much practice time you put in throughout your life, but you guys are blessed genetically. I can't grow, all right? Like, these guys act as if they're the common people out here and they're doing extraordinary things with the body of a common person, with the genetics of a common person. Like, they're 5'8" and they're out here dominating a big man's league. You guys are tall, man. That's why you guys are in the NBA. It's not just because your skills or the work that you guys put in. There are a lot of guys that busted their butt, practice every single day. Hell, I used to shovel my driveway with snow off of it just so I can get shots up on the driveway when I was like 14, 15, 16 years old in high school. I used to do this stuff. I used to practice a lot. I played basketball a lot. I played sports a lot. I love sports, no matter what it was. I played a lot. I was never going to grow. 5'9" is all I got. Okay? I was never going to be 6'4", 6'5", just because I practiced every day, or I tried to stretch myself out, or I exercised a lot. I've been training and been into physical fitness and health my entire life, guys. My entire life. There's nothing I can do about my height. I can make my heart stronger. I can try to get my lungs stronger, right? Try to get my bones and my muscles and ligaments, try to train my body and become more physically fit and healthier and stronger. That's never going to change my height. It's never going to change, guys. I am the height that I'm at. So for someone like Dwayne Wade to talk about a disconnect from the fans, yeah, the disconnect is between you guys and the past eras. That's the real disconnect, because the fans are, for some reason, we're the ones holding the standard now. Now we have to hold the standard. You guys should be holding the standard. The fans shouldn't have anything to do with the standard stuff. But here we are out here making videos, trying to set the record straight and call you fools out because you guys are not living up to the standard of the past eras. This ain't got to do with the fans. So he continues. I wrote down more. He says this. That's really disrespectful to the craft. Y'all got to stop being disrespectful to the craft. What the hell are you talking about, Dwayne Wade? What are you disrespectful to the craft because the fans are calling you guys out for not living up to the standard of the past eras? You guys are disrespecting the craft. If Dwayne Wade doesn't see that the way the NBA players have been playing the game over the last 5-10 years is disrespectful to the craft, then my man, you are once again not living in reality. Self-awareness is on zero for these guys. Complete zero. Dwayne Wade, no self-awareness. Dwayne Wade, this guy's a complete idiot. He has other things that he should be more concerned about in his life than trying to come at the fans with some nonsense that doesn't even add up. So he says, that's really disrespectful to the craft. Now, you know what's disrespectful to the craft, Dwayne Wade? When you guys are load managing, you guys realize, and I'm not saying Dwayne Wade was a load manager. I'm not saying that he was, right, in particular. But you guys realize Dwayne Wade didn't play 82 games this season. Not one season did Dwayne Wade play 82 games in a season. Once again, I'm not saying he was a load manager. I'm not saying any of that stuff. He's faking injuries, none of that. Dwayne Wade had a lot of injuries. You know, he had a lot of issues in the second half of his career. Then they never played 82 games in a season, though, guys. Never once did. So when you talk about disrespecting the craft, part of your craft is showing up to work and being there, playing through pain, right? Playing through personal problems, showing up to work for the fans, for that love of the game. Past eras, past NBA players, those guys did that more consistently than you and your contemporaries did, which is why the NBA has gone downhill. But you're talking about disrespecting the craft. You guys came and show up to work and honor that craft. Honor the past eras, the past players that came before that did show up to work under much tougher circumstances and conditions. So that's disrespectful to the craft. Once again, look at the NBA, Dwayne Wade. A play-in tournament, an in-season tournament. This is disrespectful to the craft. Look at what you guys did to the All-Star game. That's disrespectful to the craft. Once again, the All-Star game used to be the standard of all sports, guys. The NBA All-Star game was the standard across all sports, all All-Star games. The NBA was the one that they were all looking up at. That was the standard. Not anymore. So once again, you guys have disrespect for the craft. You guys have destroyed the All-Star game. That happened under your watch too, Dwayne Wade. What are you guys doing here? But you're on a podcast talking about the disconnect between the fans and how we disrespecting the craft because we're out here critiquing you guys and calling you guys out, holding you guys out to a standard. No one's out here saying that we can play in the league. No one's saying that we should be in the NBA and you guys shouldn't be in the NBA. No one's saying this stuff, Dwayne. What the hell are you talking about, man? We're calling you guys out and we're setting the record straight. We're comparing you to your contemporaries, to the other NBA players in history, not to the common folks, not to the guy that played on my high school varsity team. Not some random kid that played in elementary school or junior high. We're comparing you to the other NBA players. I don't understand what these guys don't get about this. Like I said, you have guys now bragging about how they could dominate a regular, I'll come down to your league and destroy you guys and we'll dominate your league. I'll go down to any league right now. Like they're bragging about dominating a league full of common folks. I mean, what are we bragging about here? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah, you guys think you're so great. I'll come down to your league and destroy you guys. What are you bragging about here, man? Once again, it's like being the smartest kid with Down syndrome. What are you bragging about? You ain't bragging about nothing, man. Y'all are a bunch of fools. And like I make the same analogy all the time. These guys can't take any of the fans critiquing them or criticizing them or, calling them out for nonsense or holding the standard compared to other NBA players or other eras. And these guys started making it a personal thing. Oh, I'll destroy you guys. You guys can't really hoop like us. Y'all never played in the NBA. You guys don't know what it's like. What are you talking about, man? We know what the other players did. We're comparing you to the other players, not to us. I'm not saying, oh, I would have done this in the NBA, or I would have done this. I would have dunked on this guy. I would have crossed this. I never talk like this stuff. Fans don't talk like that. What we're talking about is in comparison to your contemporaries, Dwayne Wade. You're disrespecting the past eras by the way you guys go out there and play the game. That's disrespectful. The way you guys treat the fans is disrespectful, man. You guys really act as if the fans don't belong as part of the game. I posted that comments from Michael Jordan a couple years ago. It was that clip from the interview he was having. I think he was like in his first or second year in the league. And they asked him about, talking to the fans, going back and forth with the fans. And they asked him, how do you feel about the fans talking to you guys or talking trash or trying to heckle you? How do you feel about that kind of stuff? He goes, because we've seen that you will talk to the fans out there. And Michael Jordan said, yeah, I talk to the fans all the time. If they're saying things, he goes, because they feel as if they're part of the game. And he goes, they are part of the game. Fans are part of the game. Having people in the crowd talking and heckling you, that's all part of the game, guys. Like I said, when you play in the streets, people are trash talking. There are people on the sidelines watching, are there not? There are always fans around, guys, since day one. Whenever you're playing a sport, there's someone watching, guys. It don't matter where you are. Like I said, you go to the beach. I was on the beach for 2 weeks, right, for summer, for vacation with my family. They have volleyball nets out there on the beach, right? So me and my brothers, my wife, my kids, we got everybody together. There was like 10 of us, right? Or maybe like 8 of us, whatever it was. And we gave it maybe like 10 of us, like 5-on-5, if I remember correctly. And we got a volleyball game going, right? There was no one on the net. No one's playing volleyball. It's 2 volleyball nets. So we go out there and we get a volleyball game going and we're playing. All of a sudden, guys, people are watching us play volleyball. Why? Because we're out there playing a sport. People watch. People spectate. This is what we do in the world. You see someone doing something, people stand around and watch. Hell, you can even see people watching people do construction. Right, there's some construction going on, maybe something interesting, something different. People are going to watch. Spectating, fans of a sport. Always been like that, always going to be like that because fans are part of the sport, guys. Right, I told you guys about Dr. J at Rooker Park and how people were climbing fences, climbing trees, climbing buildings just to watch Dr. J play. Did Dr. J say, hey, man, y'all need to get out of here, man. I don't want nobody watching me. I want to play basketball by myself and be left alone. No, he went out there to put on a show for the fans. You see what I'm saying, guys? That's the disconnect, Dwayne Wade. That you guys forgot that you're supposed to be outperforming for the fans. Remember that I told you guys the All-Star game was supposed to be a show, right? To celebrate the NBA players' talents and skills for the fans. Put on a show for the fans. That's why the All-Star game was there for, right? It wasn't just to be, I was going to do the All-Star game, but no. So those guys showed up for the fans. They understood what they were out there to do. I remember they were talking to Magic Johnson. I think this was like 1993, the year after he retired, right? Because remember, he came back for the 92 All-Star game. But I think this was the 93 All-Star game, and Isaiah Thomas was hurt, I believe. He had like an ankle problem or something coming into the All-Star game. And during the game, the other broadcaster said, I wonder why Isaiah Thomas is even out here right now. Like, he's not 100%. You could tell that he's hurting. Why is he even out here? It's an All-Star game, right? And Magic Johnson said, well, I talked to Isaiah Thomas before the game, and he said that he wanted to go out there for the fans. That's why Isaiah Thomas went out there. Now, you guys know I don't respect Isaiah Thomas as a commentator or an analyst or, whatever he wants to call himself now. I don't respect what he does. Very jealous and envious. It's not how a grown-up should be at this stage of his life. He should be moved past a lot of this stuff, but he's not. But I always respected Isaiah Thomas as a basketball player. I never knocked his career or his skills on the court. So it can't be denied what Isaiah Thomas was doing in 1993 for the All-Star game and show for the fans. He understood this stuff. All of those guys understood. That's why they were there, and that's why they went out and slam dunk contests and competed, went into the All-Star game and competed to put on a show for the people, because there was no disconnect there. They understood that the fans were part of the game and that they were there to put on a show for those people. That's why they were there, to see a show, to see guys play basketball at a high level, guys compete at a high level. What Dwayne Wade and his fans and his guys were doing, it's the Miami Heat super team, all this carrying and traveling that we see in the game, the lack of competitiveness that we see now, the sensitivities of these clowns, the flopping and crying and moaning all the damn time. My God, man. What the hell are you talking about, man? You guys are disrespecting the craft, not the fans. We're the ones keeping it real here. Y'all are not keeping it real. And then Dwayne Wade says this. Y'all smell the popcorn and y'all eat the popcorn. Y'all don't know what it's like to perform when that popcorn popping. Does anyone know what that means? I have no clue what that even means. That's not even a saying. That doesn't even make any sense. Y'all smell the popcorn and y'all eat the popcorn. Y'all don't know what it's like to perform when that popcorn popping. The hell you talking about, man? You know what's funny? Is that you hear a lot of these NBA players, they'll knock the broadcasters or some of these analysts, right? Like Stephen A. Smiths and all these other guys. They'll talk trash about the broadcasters, Brian Windhorst and some of these other clowns out here. They'll trash those guys, right? They'll talk about how those guys, never played and they have no talent and all this other stuff. But they'll act as if they can do their job, right? So NBA players, these guys that are speaking about the fans and just all this nonsense, oh, y'all smell the popcorn, y'all eat the popcorn. You guys will knock other people for doing their jobs and act as if you can do their jobs better than them. So why are you guys getting upset when people critique you doing your job? There's no one here saying that we can do your job better than you, or we should be playing in the NBA and get rid of all the NBA players. Let's put all the fans in the NBA and the league would be better. The product would be better. I mean, it actually might. But no one's saying this kind of stuff. But you guys talk records all the time. You guys have opinions on your podcast. You guys talk about things that you have no clue about. Right? A lot of you guys are carrying weapons. Are you guys weapons experts? Are you guys in the military? Are you guys trained for this stuff? No, you're not, but you guys carrying guns around. So once again, why are you guys doing this and talking about stuff? A lot of these guys talk about stuff they have no clue about. I see a lot of ex-NFL players talking about NBA. Are you going to say anything about them? And really the main thing here, guys, that we have to understand is why are these guys acting as if they were never fans? Dwayne Wade, you were never a fan of basketball? You just play basketball. You're never a fan of it, though. You play in the NBA. Right? You were blessed with all this talent, these genetics to play in this league, but you were never a fan of basketball. So when you were 6, 7, 8 years old, you didn't watch NBA basketball? Probably not. You're 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. You didn't watch NBA basketball. You just played it. You were never a fan of basketball. You were never a fan of a sport that you played. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. These guys are never fans. They're still not fans of basketball. Like, if you guys love the sport of basketball, you're a fan of basketball, that should never change. Just because you playing in the league, you're a current player, or you played in the league and you're a professional, you're not a fan anymore? I don't get this. I don't understand what these guys are talking about. Like, it's a negative connotation now to be a fan. See what someone like Dwayne Wade is doing in the Kevin Durant's? They've tried to make it a negative to be a fan. It's the same thing they did with role player. Remember, to be a quote-unquote role player back in the day, that was actually spoken and respected. Now, to be a role player is disrespect. Nobody wants, oh, you're just a role player. What? So now to be a fan is not good now. No one should be a fan. This is where we're at now, right? Guys, look down the fans. The people who go out there and support these clowns, buy their sneakers and their jerseys, buy the tickets. These guys don't seem to understand. Like I always tell you guys, there's no game without the players. No game without the players. No doubt we need those guys out there playing. But there's no NBA without the fans, guys. Remember that. There's no league for this clown Dwayne Wade to get paid. All this money Dwayne Wade got, he would not have had the access to that if there were no fans watching the game. So if those guys had it the way Dwayne Wade's talking about, and we didn't even go to the games, no one booed you, no one applauded you and cheered you, no one criticized you, no one heckled you. If there was no one doing any of this stuff, there would be no money to be made in basketball. No money to be made. You guys would just be playing in the streets for fun. You would be a fan of basketball playing for fun because you love the game. That's what we do. We play for fun because we love the game. We get to do it for free. And we're putting our bodies on the line the same way you guys are. Once again, different levels, but the same things can happen. If I tear my knee, I tear my knee. It's not a less of a tear because I wasn't playing in the NBA. Travel's a travel, guys. Whether you're in the NBA or you're on the street. A carry's a carry. A foul's a foul, man. Oh, maybe not in the NBA. Not in the NBA, right? There's no travels in the NBA. There's no carries in the NBA. The fouls in the NBA, soft ass league. So once again, the standards are actually higher when I play basketball in the streets. People call you for travels and carries out in them streets, man. The game's a lot more physical when I play in the streets. I don't call fouls. But we gonna call them travels and carries. You damn sure know that. So really, where's the disconnect, Dwayne Wade? The disconnect is with you guys, not with us. We're keeping it real. You guys are not living in reality. Dwayne Wade, you're a weird, soft dude. And once again, what's up with these clowns wearing sunglasses inside? Dwayne Wade, during this entire interview, whatever the hell it was, dude's wearing sunglasses and a do-rag. You're getting a page from LeBron James? Dude, Dwayne Wade's 40 years old, right? Was he 42, 43 years old? You're wearing do-rags and wearing sunglasses inside. You're wearing sunglasses on a podcast, on an interview. Why? You look weird, dude. Once again, we all know Dwayne Wade's a soft, feminine dude. You paints his nails, wears lip gloss, wears these tight-ass clothes. You know that damn well that Dwayne Wade rides shotgun while Gabrielle Union is driving him around because Dwayne Wade's soft as hell, man. But out here talking tough and talking reckless. Dude, stop it, man. You sound ridiculous talking about the popcorn. You sound stupid for the disconnect comments, man. And he said, if I was streaming this, I'd be talking. You talk soft, dude. You talk like a weirdo. Nobody understands what you're saying. None of it makes any sense. That's really disrespectful to the craft. Like, we call you clowns out for out here lollygagging and being a bunch of fools, a bunch of soft idiots. You guys are sensitive, man. That's a disconnect. Y'all are sensitive. Guys back in the day weren't as sensitive. And now, like you said, everyone has a platform to say something, so people are saying it, and you guys can't take the heat. Y'all want all the money, but y'all don't want no pushback. Right? You want everybody, they want all the fans to go to the games and just shut up. And like I said, I don't know where he's getting this idea that NBA fans or basketball fans in general think that we can play in the NBA and beat these guys. No one thinks this stuff, man. No one does. Just because we're knocking you or critiquing you or criticizing you, we're holding you to a standard compared to the other NBA players. Compared to the other NBA players. I tell you guys, and I make the same analogy over and over again, guys. When you think about attorneys or doctors or, anytime that you would need a professional, right? And you would need maybe a recommendation, right? How many times have you talked to a friend? Like I said, maybe you needed a doctor, a specialist. Maybe you knew someone in your family that was sick. They had something wrong with them. And you're looking for a specialist. You're looking for a good doctor, right? So what would you say? Hey, man, you know a good doctor that's good with hearts, or someone that's, good with brain surgery, or someone that's good with breathing and lungs, or respiratory system? Like, do you have any idea? Do you know a good doctor? Are you going to go to someone and say, hey, who's the worst doctor that you know that works on hearts? Are you going to say the worst doctor? Now, if I say, hey, can you point me to a good doctor? Or this guy, and then someone responds to you and says, yeah, this doctor's really good. I go to them. This is who my father used, or my mother used this guy, or my uncle, my cousin, whoever it is. We use our family pediatrician. This guy is great, blah, 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 blah. You should go to him. I recommend this guy. Does that mean that because you're not recommending the other doctors and you think that doctor might be a bad... How many times have you heard someone say, that doctor's not good. Don't go to that guy, man. It's not a good dentist. It's not a good doctor. It's not a good attorney. You've heard people say that. That doesn't mean that I'm a better attorney than them, that I can do surgery better than these guys, that the average common person is better than them at being a doctor or attorney, right? Or any of this kind of stuff. What we're saying is you're comparing them to their contemporaries. So you're saying there's not a good doctor compared to his contemporaries, the other doctors in the area. That's not you saying that I could be a doctor tomorrow and I could do these surgeries better than this guy because you're saying he's not a good doctor. So if I say, oh, this guy's not good, or I don't think this guy's better than this guy, or we critique this guy's game and we call them out versus this, or hold a standard compared to this guy, that doesn't mean that I can play in the NBA, that I think I can beat this guy or do this better than this guy, because we're comparing them to the contemporaries. The contemporaries. Me saying someone's not top 10 doesn't mean that I'm top 10, or I think I'm top 10, or I would be in the top 10. If I say that I don't think this guy's that great of an athlete, that doesn't mean that I think I'm a greater athlete than that person. I'm saying compared to the other great athletes in their sport, the contemporaries. That's what we're saying here. Because, if we're saying, oh, this guy's not that great of an athlete, that person's obviously a great athlete in general compared to the common everyday folks. But compared to the great athletes that play professional sports, he's not that great of an athlete or on that level. You understand this. Dwayne Wade doesn't seem to understand this kind of stuff. Right? There's a lot of things that regular common folk do, Dwayne Wade, that you couldn't do. You couldn't do better than the regular common folk. Come down to someone's job tomorrow and try to do their job better than them. You're not going to be able to do it, are you? So really, what are we saying here? I'm not saying anything, Dwayne Wade. You said literally nothing, man. You're talking nonsense. You're talking about a disconnect that's not there. The disconnect is with you fools, not understanding. You guys got to stop being so sensitive. And you guys have disrespected the craft, not the fans. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.